What's up, solutionaries? Got a great show, y'all. Uh, our brother should be tapping in any minute here. I want to kind of like give some backdrop to everyone. As you're coming in, please, everyone, please hit that, smash that thumbs up button, like whatever it is on this platform. I know, we getting a lot more technical with the YouTube and all of that. Commentating hasn't been a really great thing of mine. I'm great at articulating and expressing a point, but commenting on other people's shit has not generally been my strong point. And we're gonna change that with this YouTube channel. Again, everyone, please make sure you're subscribing, sharing the video, things of that nature. Everybody, if you have questions, please, we're gonna try to isolate the questions to the super chats. Please give what you can. Obviously, you guys know that the super chats, all of those resources go towards the work at Black Guns Matter. GoFundMe.com/Black Guns Matter for anyone that has not made a donation. Please do so. It's very important. If you have questions for Brother Rizza when he shows in, throw a super chat. If you have a business that you want to support, throw a super chat. If you have all of those different things that you want to highlight or something of that nature, please throw a super chat. All of those resources are appreciated and will be used for the intended purpose. Real briefly, first, shouts to our sponsor, our ammo sponsor, Phoenix Ammunition. Huge shouts to those guys. Justin and the team over there right outside of Detroit doing great work. Did not shut down production the entire time when Governor Whitmer, I think that's the lady's name over there, told them that they had to shut down, and they did not. They made sure that they continued to pump throughout all of 2020 to make sure that people had all of the freedom seeds that they needed. So, and they are our sponsors. I'll probably start shooting, I don't know, competitively here pretty soon, but they're gonna give us a bunch of the ammo and stuff like that. Huge shouts to my guy Argo J, with his Bravo Oscar rifle. It's a good brother of mine. Haven't talked to him a bit. I was thinking about him a lot the last few days. Sent him a text. He responded. He's good and everything. But that's his rifle. I want everybody to go support that. I don't know if they sold out yet, but please go support that. Support good people doing good work. He's a firearms instructor. He's a teacher, and he's a good brother. So I want everybody to support that. Another huge shout out to NLT Cert Pistol. All right. NLT Cert pistols are very excellent training tools. They gave us a lot of these Cert pistols to give instruction to beginners. Before this, we were using the blue guns, like blue little guns, but you couldn't take the magazine out. There was no magazine release. It was just like a blue gun. There was no trigger, but these actually have lasers on them. If you can see that right there, there's one laser there, and there's another laser when you pull the trigger. CERT stands for self-indicating resetting trigger. So we're going to make sure that we want to give them our support. I think we got a promo code too. I don't, if we got one, I forgot what it is, but nonetheless. So let's get into it today. Brother Rizza is running a little bit late, but he'll be tapping in. I don't want y'all to think we pump faked. I want to kind of, it's actually a good thing that he is running a little bit late. The reason for that, I say, is because I want to kind of go a little bit into the importance of the work that the brother's doing. And I'll let him, obviously, when he taps in, I'll make sure that he is explaining, he'll explain himself. Okay. I want to be clear about that. We're in a weird space right now. Yes, everyone, please, when you come in, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Very important. We need to boost those algorithms. Make sure copy the link, share it to your platforms. It's real easy to copy and paste that. Put it on Twitter. Again, for the people that are just coming in, if you have a question, anything like that, super chats all day. We need all of the super chats. Very, very important. Okay. Let me hop off of that. Let me put my phone on D&D. Very important. Super chats, very important. Okay. That phone is off. The importance, thank you, Mabel G. The Walking Dead warned us about COVID in season 1, actually. First time on this channel, decided to check you. King J, I appreciate that. Peace and blessings, Pop Hotep. Dark said, I was just saying when Maj going to get in on these tactical games soon. Nice shirt. Thank you. Everybody that wants to support blackgunsmattershop.com. Greetings from Alabama. Gator Stew, what's up? So yeah, y'all, I appreciate everybody for the love. We got about 5 minutes or so before the brother will be tapping in. Very quickly, obviously, we had Rizza at the Solutionary Summit a few weeks ago. We will be putting out the Solutionary Summit promote a video, the recap video, very here shortly. There's a few of them, one off of the boat in the actual, classes or panels, and one on the yacht that we had for the VIP ticket holders. Obviously, Rizza came there. It was very important. The information he was talking about, he was a part of the Real Talk tour, which was Angela Stanton King's tour. I've linked with Rizza before in Las Vegas at that tour. And here, this was just the time I really wanted to let the brother go a little bit further. But because there was a panel, it was myself, it was Angela, it was Kwame Brown. We weren't allowed so much to, and I say allowed because of time restrictions. We didn't give the brother an opportunity to just really flex on our platforms to gun owners. Now, I know he speaks to a lot of people all across the country. I know he links with very impactful people. But I think what happens a lot of times is when there's other people there, we don't allow folks to just express themselves fully. So I thought it was very important to have him on to talk about this jab thing. I'll say that word. I won't say, and I'm asking everybody to not type OVI, because they'll attack pages, and we've seen this, and which makes us actually be more along the lines of, hey, why exactly do you expect me to believe you if you're removing conversation about the facts? The more facts you hide, the less we believe you. And I think that the brother has been touching a lot of those points, and he's been doing it for some time now. I think that people don't understand, one, how long he's been doing this work, and two, the type of work that the type of study that it goes into to not only be aware of these types of things, but also to push back against the seemingly never-ending rhetoric. Again, if you're just coming in, make sure you smash that like button. We're trying to get it to 100 likes. I don't know how many likes we got to. I don't even know where to look. But either way, hit the like button if you're just coming in. Mike Wyckoff says, Hawaii stopping by. Aloha. Love what you're doing. Appreciate you. Did y'all ever figure out old girl question who said guns aren't useful in a post-apocalyptic setting? That's interesting. That's the sister that was at the Solutionary Summit on that panel. 66 likes. 66 likes. Let's get a bunch more likes, y'all. Come on. Chastity says you like the shirt. I wanted to give the brother an opportunity to express one. I think people, because he looks young, I think people don't really recognize, that he's been doing this work for some time. I don't think many people, they know that Rizza's a smart dude, but I don't think that they know anything about Rizza's background. I don't think that people know how long he's been doing the work. A lot of people don't even know where he's from. Things of that nature. So we wanted to give the brother an opportunity to express those things. Real quick, before he gets in here, I want y'all to, if y'all have questions, please type them in the chat. If you're just coming into the chat, please smash that like button. It's very, very important. I'll read some of these statements. Nat says he just received his 2 shirts. Outstanding. Courtney W says, we're climbing. Hit that like button. Yes, hit the like button. Ultimate Girlfriend says, never give up your guns, Patriots. Kiana says, got my shirt and gifted another. Love it. I appreciate that. Rizza has been in the community and been bucking against Big Pharma. That's true. And these are the things that people kind of know about him. But I think it's only right for the brother to kind of like express who he is and what he's doing and so forth and so on. If y'all have questions for me or questions for Rizza, please type them in right now so I can scroll. And, he'll be in here about a few more minutes. I want to make sure that we're getting some of this stuff out of the way because, again, to me, the purpose of this live is for us to ask questions. And I'll pretty much play devil's advocate, for lack of a better term. Michael Stengel said we got 100 likes. CJ Kirk says, is the next summit going to be in Houston? Shouts to Dwayne Boyd. I can't subscribe to your website. Is it down for the time being? Wait, can't subscribe to the website or to the page? I'm not sure what you mean there. 103 likes. Colin C says, shouts from Sunnyvale, California, 2A all day. Let's get 30 more likes. Courtney W says, let's get 30 more likes. Sidebar, huge shout to our guy, Mo Bookings, my guy, Maurice. Reese is actually behind the scenes getting a lot of these connections done and made. And I kind of want to really address that because, there's a lot of people that don't put in the work. Okay. Shouts to Dwayne for that $5.55 super chat. Please, y'all, make sure, again, when we have guests on here, we try to make sure that we give the guests something for their time. So let's say if we can get to $1,000 in the chat, if we get to $1,000 in the super chats, I want to make sure that we give half of that to our brother. I think that's important. Okay. So let's get to $1,000 in super chats if we can. Back to our brother Maurice, who not only booked me on he booked me, Angela, and Rizza on Alex Jones's show. And that's a brother that I go to that is for the cause, that's putting the work in, and I want y'all to support him. www.mobookings.com. MOBOOKINGS. That's my homie, but I forget the website. I'll forget everything. Boom. 100 likes. Boom. Hit that like. Keep going, y'all. Somebody said, I think the next solutionary will be in Dallas. You never know. I want to do Hawaii. I think that's cool. Should we run to the forest? Like what? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we should run from anything. I think we should stay in a fight. I think other people should be running. Somebody said, I think it should be done in Miami once again, but I'm being biased because I live here. S Freely with the $20 super sticker. Appreciate that. S Freely, if you have a question, anyone that's giving super chats, please, everybody, $20, $10, $5, $100, whatever the number is, 500, whatever. Trying to get to $1,000 so we can split that and give half to our guest when he pops in. Okay. And if you want to do a super chat, if you have a question, that's dope. Mabel G with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, Mabel G. If you do a super chat, if you got a business, Instagram or something that you want to promote, please do that with the super chat. So appreciate you there, Mabel G, for the super chat. We got Jamie. People in Hawaii don't support guns. That's part of the reason why I think we should go to Hawaii. All right. Very important. Do it in NY. We need to hear people talk with your intelligent level. Bring KD too. I agree with that. LaDanya says, hello from Detroit. Appreciate that. Arm Bearded Warrior says the Solutionary Summit in my hometown, Miami, was a great experience. And I just got my Being a Bitch is Un-American shirt. Boom. Everybody that want the shirts, blackgunsmattershop.com. Very important. Mabel G says she only has one gun. Do you have one of these? Do you have a Bravo Oscar? It's very important. Dwayne Boyd with another $5.55 super chat says, when am I coming to North Carolina? Actually, our sister Shamika Michelle, she's trying to set up a class in North Carolina. Very important. I think it's cool. Just want to make sure if everyone can hear me good and if the signal is good. Right. Mike Wyckoff says lots of people support guns in Hawaii. The state doesn't. Boom. Question. I want to know, how does Brother Rizza keep his mental health in order while doing hard work? It's impressive. It's a good question. It's a very good question. I'm going to make sure I come back to that question when he taps in. Very important question. Memphis needs the summit here. The knowledge is much needed. What are your thoughts on the recently initiative on red flag laws that passed the House with overwhelming support of conservatives? Very good question. Let's tap into that for a minute. Ija Hannah for the $5 super chat. Thank you. I will come back to your question. Very important question. That question. So there's several arguments. The argument is one, well, that portion, that section of the red flag thing was in a bigger bill, right? Or mixed in a bill. That we got 150 people watching. Let's get 150 likes. So this is the section. Let's do it this way. This is that section of the bill, right? That bill, National Defense Authorization Act, or something like that, from my understanding, and I haven't read it all yet, to my understanding currently, it's 1,300 pages. Okay. 1,300 pages, which is a lot. And one of the explanations or ways that people have explained it is, hey, I've gotten word that in the background that this will never get passed into law. They had to, or so they've said, certain politicians have said, and they've made videos, it's not me outing anybody. They've said that since this bill will never pass, these parts will be removed and it will not become into law. I disagree with that approach. I believe if you're working behind the scenes and you know that, you should actually get those portions of a bill removed before it even touches the House. Okay. That's just what I think. Now, the logic of it is, hey, we don't want to look like we're the people that's voting against. I think one of the arguments was somewhere in there, if you didn't, then you wanted something in there that made it non-mandatory for armed military or military personnel to not be mandated for the vaccine. To me, it sounds like a bunch of gibberish. I think that the right or Republicans, right of aisle, have been very soft as it pertains to the Second Amendment. That's what I think. I'm a libertarian. I know that Senator Rand Paul and Thomas Massey both did not say yes to that. And those guys are in alignment with liberty. So no, I'm not supportive of that. And we've heard politicians say all of the time, this won't go into law, this won't X, Y, and Z, and then it winds up doing it. And then they can say, well, look, I fought and I took my position. Well, you didn't, because you voted yes on it for it even to advance. So that's my view on it. I think more libertarian-minded politicians, in DC, need to make moves based on that. And I think it speaks to a bigger issue. That issue being, why are bills being presented or legislation being presented that's 1,300 pages in the first place? If each bill should be about one thing, so we can kind of say, nah, we don't really need that, or we absolutely need this, and yes, everyone's in agreement with it, we move forward. So that's my perspective on that. Mike Wickoff again with the $5 super chat. Again, everyone that's coming in, smash the button. Appreciate it. What do I think might happen with the National Guard set to replace unboom healthcare workers happening in New York? I think it's stupid, and I think if more and more people step back and go, no, thank you. Like in Romania, 70% of the people in Romania said no thank you to that thing that we're not going to, the word that cannot be spoken on YouTube, right? So they had to stop all of their stuff. They was like, no. 70% of the people said no thank you. We're not supporting the businesses that's pushing it. We're not supporting the companies that's supporting it, so forth and so on. And so that's what I think. I think that even you just had in where was it? Massachusetts. You had dozens of, I want to say, sheriffs or marshals or something like that, state troopers or something from the state of Massachusetts step off the job because of the mandate. You know what I mean? Things like that. So it's like, no, thank you. And I think more people should say no, thank you. So I think National Guard people should say no, thank you. Brandon Johnson says Rand Paul and Thomas Massey are true reps. Now, I don't know if you mean reps in the form of public servants reps or reps in the sense of Republicans, but I would contend that they're both actually libertarians that just said Republican to not have to, like, the libertarian on a national level does not have that same level of infrastructure. Everybody that's tuning in, again, please hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Our brother Rizza is here.
How you? Man, my brother.
How you?
Man, I'm well, brother. We on the move, man. How's everything going with yourself?
Everything's wonderful, man. So I did all of the greetings and all of that other good stuff. I told the people that you were going to tap in. Again, if you're coming in, make sure you smash that like button, share this live, share it all over the place, and all that other good stuff. If you have questions, make sure you're typing in the super chat. We want to get this to $1,000. All of our powerful guests, we want to split all of our super chat money with the guests. That is important. This work is important. It's very important. The work of arming people in Black communities all across the country, as well as arming people here in communities all across the country, are very, very important. So I'm going to let you intro yourself without no further ado, my brother. Tell the people, obviously, that may not know, the two people in the rest of the planet that may not know, who you are, what you do, and just introduce yourself to the people. And as people go questions, I'll put them up on the screen and we can just get busy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, I'm honored to be on. My brother Maj Torres, one of the only people with the courage to bring on unfiltered truth, real facts, information to the people. And I appreciate that, brother, because you already know what's going on. There's a war on multiple fronts, and one of those is information, to where they don't even want the truth to get out at all. Yes. So, again, I'm honored to be on this show. That's number one. Number two, I'm Brother Rizza Islam. Number one, I'm a brother above everything else. A brother to our community, to our people, helping to do my best to help our people in whatever capacity that God has given me. Yes, I'm an FOI in the Nation of Islam under Minister Farrakhan. I am an independent researcher, international activist, best-selling author of the only book that I have written, and I'm going to write more, God willing. And I do a lot, man. You know, entrepreneur as well, advocate for us to have all the rights that they say we were given under that good old Constitution, and everything else. You know, our rights to have the sovereignty over our bodies, our rights to have our human rights, etc., etc. So, yeah, brother, that's pretty much all I can say.
So I gotta ask, how did this get it? Were you raised this way? Did you? When was that light bulb? When were you like, wait a minute, something's wrong? When did that Neo in the Matrix moment of like something's just not right? When did that happen? Was it something that you were raised in, or is it something that just one day just bing, the light bulb goes off? What was that for you?
That's a beautiful question. I think a lot more people need to be given that question, particularly. For me, I definitely was born in it. Mother was a naturopathic doctor. She was a medical nurse turned naturopath after she saw what they switched things over to. When they switched everything from, you know, a mixture of medicine and actual natural herbs, etc., they switched it all to pills. That's when she left the medical field and said, "No, I can't deal with this." You know, I'm the youngest of 10 children, born and raised, Compton, California, Bloods, Crips, everything, but born in a revolutionary family. You know, in the Nation of Islam. I was never indoctrinated, you could say, ever. So yes, sir, I was born in.
How has this turned up so fast? And how have you been able to absorb so much information and to be able to articulate it to our people? I see you at certain times. I'm thinking I'm the only person that's up. It's 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Rizza's posting. How has this been like breathing for you at this point? Or is it something that you, because it's been so long, or has the times necessitated you step it up? And how are you able to articulate and absorb so much information about something that's not a simple subject?
Right, very true. Well, the first thing I'll say is everything is just activated, you know, that we've been reading about, those who've been researching it for a long time. I was raised so thick in this, bro, that the documentaries dealing with, let's just say, for example, secret societies, documentaries dealing with conspiracies, dealing with the presidency, dealing with local government, foreign policy, dealing with the crack epidemic, all this kind of stuff. I was absorbing this at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. I was immersed in watching documentaries. So your tolerance level, you know, it increases because of the amount of not only information, but the type of heavy information. Because most of what we're dealing with is very heavy information that a lot of people, their tolerance level is very low. So I was sitting in it at an early age. That's one. But then two, most of what we studied were things that we were warned about beforehand. And so now it's just all of it is activating seemingly all at one time. Within the last, I would say, 2 to 5 years, most of what we have been studying has all been activating on a time frequency, you know, momentum, one after the other. And now within the last 2 years, everything has been rushing in because it's all coming under the apparatus of a attack on the rights of the people. So through that Trojan horse, you can get everything inside because you remove the one thing that protects us. So, you know, that's what it's, you know, people are like, oh my God, why is this happening? This happening? Well, because if I can take away your rights, I can violate them in every other way possible. And then I can put everything. I can put shackles on you. I can do medical tyranny. I can, you know, racism. It's all of it. Remove your guns, remove your any type of protection, remove the man from the home, lock this person up, lock that. I can do it all. So all of those things, you know, have been activated. And the ability to retain information also came because I was immersed in so much heavy, high levels of knowledge at an early age. Because you already know, bro, when we teach a child something early, they can latch on to it early. But if we get it later, it will be very hard or a little more difficult to latch on and adapt later. That's with anything.
So what if I'm the person that's saying, Rizza, man, ain't nobody trying to I heard a hip hop artist, and I don't want to diss. I'm not a fan of dissing our people, but some of the things that our people say, I'm like, so I won't say the brother's name. Some people may know who the brother is.
Yes, sir.
If somebody says, man, the government don't want your broke ass, they not worried about you, so forth and so on, right? What's the response to that? Because I get it. It's not like nobody turned into the zombie as of yet, right?
Man.
So, well, at least the way that we see, or they've packaged it as zombies.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to the person that says, man, it ain't no conspiracy, man? They, certain vaccines, they have worked. I know there's been some bad things about, medical apartheid and things like that, but it ain't to the point where you trying to take it, brother. Like, how do you make that person, if they're somewhat objective, how do you share with them?
They already got the rich ones.
They
already got them. So who's left? That there is no, see, brother, I'm gonna tell you this. There's no logic in following the illogical statements of the system that wants to destroy you. All of these statements are coming from people that are not the ones that we're hearing them from. They're being puppeteered and they don't even know it. To make a statement like that goes against everything that has happened in history. Every single thing, from Joseph Stalin all the way down to Adolf Hitler, all the way over here to America. They go after the weak first. That's how it goes. They use the rich to go after the poor. They need the poor for working status. Those who are the builders, they need the poor for those who are arrested and locked into prison for trumped up charges, pun intended. They need the weak to go in so that they can put insurance policies on your head in jail just in case you die. They can get a payout from it. Also to invest on U.S. commodities for the stock market. They need the weak, the poor, and the ignorant. They need you. The rich, they already got. They got them on contract. They got them in front of the people. They got them under all types of systems of ignorance to where they push and propagandize every single goddamn thing. None of these paid Negroes know anything about what they're talking about. They know nothing about the shots. They don't study. They don't know the research. They don't work with the families who have children who are victims of vaccine injury and adults who are victims of vaccine injury. They know nothing about policies. They don't meet with the politicians on it. They don't have anything to do with the marches, the rallies. They don't go to the parent-teacher conferences. They don't go. They know nothing. So let's make it very clear. When anyone makes a statement like that, they don't want your broke ass. No, they do want your broke ass. Right. They need you. It's more than a want. It's a need. The only way a system or a machine can operate to its fullest capacity is by having ignorant groups of people who run it. That's it. Until they can actually replace you with robots, they need you to be as close to a robot as possible. John D. Rockefeller, founder of the General Education Board, who funded the majority of schooling and education in America, just like the Rockefellers funded the overtaking of the medical field and put in pharmaceuticals in the place of natural medicine. Let's stop playing with this. People who don't do the research should not talk. People who don't know the facts should not open their mouth. If you want to open your mouth, then do some research first. And when you do some research, make it clear that you haven't done all the research. Right. Just say, this is what I know so far. Because it ain't plain and simple as you may think. So yes, they want all your broke folks. That's why they put us in projects. That's why they make sure they put us on the government watch list, aka EBT, food stamps, etc. They have to track you because they want to know your movement, because they have to use you to fuel the machine again until they can replace you with actual robots, which is what they're working on right now. So
is it? Yeah. Can that be a good thing for the people? If okay, cool. I'm a fan of movies. In the movie The Count of Monte Cristo, main man is trapped in the jail for however long, and he meet the old head who happened to dig out the wrong way, and he starts teaching him. And one of the lessons was neglect is our ally, right? They're going to leave us alone for a minute. Is it possible that, okay, they ushering in the AI, the robotics, everybody, if you're not learning coding right now, okay.
Definitely should. Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Is that maybe an opportune moment for us? And how could it be an opportune moment for us as the people to say, okay, you're leaving us alone. We're going to focus on this. Can that be to our benefit, or is that all potentially detriment?
Absolutely can be to our benefit if we jump on it early enough, take full advantage of it in the proper way, and put on the rest of our people to get the knowledge so that we can use it to our benefit. Technology is absolutely beneficial if used properly, but just know To the degree that we don't use it is to the degree that they will use it against us. So we have to learn about technology, robotics, coding. We have to learn about not only the blockchain, Bitcoin side of it as far as the monetary side goes, but we need to know about the machinery. How can we use that when it comes to our livelihood, when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to fitness and health, when it comes to protection, and when it comes to solar power, when it comes to having a full system of separating from this system as possible. Can we use it in as many ways to establish our own everything to where we will no longer be dependent on them? That's how we have to think about it. But if we just neglect it, then of course they're going to use it against us.
Yeah,
Come on.
It's like, oh, you ain't gonna use it. Oh, that money right there. Oh, that brain. Let me get that.
Come on.
So let me ask this: What is Ovid? What is that? What is this? What is this Ovid thing? What is it? You hear people say certificate of vaccine identification.
2019.
What exactly is it?
First thing is, it's an offshoot of SARS, 1. It's an offshoot of the flu, 2. This is verified in the science. That's basically the easiest way to break it down. Does it exist? Yes, it does. Is it as horrific as they have made it seem? No. And even the other scientists have come out and said, no, it is not as horrific as they have made it seem. They have covered up the pre-existing conditions. And when someone dies from their own diabetes, heart disease, asthma, etc., that they have labeled it as the death from that virus and said, oh my God, look at what's happening to these people. No, the extreme of this is because of the person's overall level of health. They're neglected their body, their pre-existing conditions, which is already killing people every day. But you use that horrific situation and it said, oh, it's because of this, to scare more people into taking a solution that you have given them that doesn't actually work, but that puts them more in another level of slavery. So let's make this very clear. It is real. It is 99% survival rate for the majority, unless you are between 60 and up. If you're 60 and below, for the vast majority, your survival rate is 99%. And because of that, what that means is, increasing your health, your immunity, take care of your body, get rid of the majority of fried foods, etc., smoking and drinking, cut down on that for the majority, exercise. You already know me and you both major into fitness, bro.
Yeah.
Like you sipped your water, bro. This is, come on, man. You know how it is. Right? So, we have a higher likelihood of getting through it, getting over it. And if we do catch it, which the body is equipped, it knows about viruses, it's going to go into it, learn about it, fight it off, create the antibodies, white blood cells, boom, 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 fight it off. You'll be through it, in a couple of days. Again, if you have a standard level of health.
Yeah.
But they've used this as the number one cash cow, as the number one hypnotizing agent to hypnotize the entire planet, and 3, as an enslaving mechanism, because they have lost control of the masses in the way that they had control of us before. They don't know how to control us anymore. They know that we cannot be controlled the way we used to, because this technology that we have called smartphones has enabled us to learn certain information at such a high rate that we don't just trust them anymore. We're questioning too much. We're finding ways to make money through the technology. We're finding ways to grab up land and unite with our people all across the diaspora. They're like, hold up. We did not expect this to happen. And as Zbigniew Brzezinski, former advisor to President Jimmy Carter, stated, quote, in earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. But in today's time, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control, end quote. So that is what is really, really going on. And again, if someone has COVID, make sure you boost your immune system. Make sure you change up your eating habits. Make sure you exercise, etc., etc. If you want to take a shot, do all the research before you decide to make that decision. That is my main thing. Whatever you choose, but let's be very clear. Is it proven to help? No. Will it prevent anything? No. Will it help you? Not necessarily. No. I mean, that's according to them. But there are deaths and everything connected to it as well.
So, Zbigniew Brzezinski, I got his book around here somewhere.
The Grand Chessboard?
The Grand Chessboard.
Come on, bro.
I've been trying to tell people for like years, like, yo, this dude, and they like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, you don't even know what he looks like.
We don't understand.
Man, Zbigniew Brzezinski, Henry Kissinger,
George
diplomacy.
Soros. Come on, bro.
And I'm like, hey, y'all, hey. And they like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, these are the actual influencers.
Yes, literally. Literally. Now, okay, hold on. You know, okay. The word influencer, this brother just hit on a major point. Who are you influencing, really, on social media? Let's make this clear. The advisor to the commander-in-chief of America or United States, Inc., not United States of America, two different things.
Yeah.
But let's just say I'm the one in the ear of this person.
Yeah.
He talks to Congress, etc., and everyone else, and the bankers and his investors, etc. If I advise him, hey, let's get rid of about 50 million people, put chemicals in this area, make sure we put chemicals in that area, and take away money from this and that. The advisor to the president, as a matter of fact, the advisor to that president, but then Henry Kissinger was the Secretary of State under President Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford, and he advised them too, and he advocated for depopulation as well.
Yeah.
If the people next to the president are advocating for you to remove human beings from the planet through food and water and chemicals and air, what the hell are you surprised about?
Yeah.
If something like this, as brother mentioned about Ovid, the virus, etc., the vid, how are you surprised? And why would you trust them if they come out with something that every other week it's some problem with it? And now again, once it comes down to it, you're going to realize that it was far more detrimental than helpful. It's going to come out, again. But brother, we don't want to look at how evil this system really is, because this generation has been made soft by way of social media. And that is the other problem. The elders have been made soft, and this generation has been made soft. So we look like some damn anomalies out here. We look crazy.
Right.
To the average person.
This is a grim question. Again, I'm a movie buff.
Yes,
one of my favorite movies is the movie Seven with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah.
And Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt, for people that have not seen it, he's this up and coming detective. He's a homicide detective. He's like, boom. And then this guy, played by Kevin Spacey, is like, hey, he's just killing people based on the 7 deadly sins.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Freeman is a seasoned detective, and he's about to retire in a couple of weeks. And he's like, listen, I'm about to retire. I don't want this case. Whoever this guy is, the first 2 murders, he's going to keep killing. They're not going to stop. And this also shouldn't be this new guy's first case. And Brad Pitt's like, man, get the hell out of here, respectfully. I want the case. To the captain. And he's like, yo, you're not ready for this case?
Mm-hmm.
And this thing will consume you. Mind you, he's been on a case for so long, or cases.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a scene in the movie where him and Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt are having a drink, and he's like, you believe that the world, Brad Pitt's character, you believe that the world is like complete shit. And he's like, and I get that, but I don't believe that. I have hope. This is why I got a baby, I got a wife, new family. And he looks at him and he says, I don't believe that. And then he says, I can't believe that. Right? And the I can't believe that goes to like, damn near, for my family, for this value system that I have, I don't want to believe that the people in the world is gone. So I say all of that backdrop to say to you, or to ask you, are we too late? Is it, and just being, this may sound nihilistic, but I love our people. I love the people. I love interacting. I love it. But sometimes the Morgan Freeman creeps up in me. And I want to be Brad Pitt. But in the movie, Morgan Freeman, the elder, was right. How it ended. I won't destroy it for people that haven't seen it. Do you think, because they, like you said, the devil been working for a long time.
Facts.
Are we as a people, is it too late? And if so, why? Or if why not? If not, why not?
Beautiful question. I'll say it this way. How many warners have to come before we get it right? How many people in every generation have to tell us the same thing before we finally decide to get up and do something for ourselves? We've been warned. I won't have to go back too far, but let's just say with the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, of course, Brother Malcolm X, of course, the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad. You go all the way down to Brother Chairman Fred Hampton, Bobby Seale, Kathleen Cleaver, Huey P. Newton. You go Brother Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture. You can keep listing everybody and all of our scholars, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen and Brother, Kaba Khamenei, and you just keep going down all the lists and all those who have fought for us, etc., saying the same damn thing. And you get to that question, are we too late? Well, to be honest, we've been too late. It's been time. It's a mixture of God's grace, whether if you believe in a higher power, Allah, God, the Most High, whatever, if you want to call it the universe, etc., karma. Because we are rising up and we are awakening faster now than ever before, there is this universal power that's strong enough that if we make our decision now, and I mean for the majority of us now, this is what's happening. We only have a very short window. And I'm saying that's what the Honorable Minister Farrakhan said. He said there was only a very short window. And it's not, because the bankers have already made their moves. Those who work for them make their moves. The politics is moving in, and now they're militarizing America. For those of you who don't know, they're trying to now replace the health workers with National Guard in New York, and it's not just going to stop in New York. And I don't even understand if you know what that means when you're deploying National Guard troops, Army, etc.
U.S. soil.
On domestic soil in the place of medical. This is the move now. Now it's like, okay, hold up. You have to stand up now. So are we too late? Yes, in the sense of we don't have time to play around anymore. We have no time to play around. We have no time to pretend as though we don't, see what the hell is going on, as if they're going to play fair. No. That's been done. It's a done deal. All right. They want to get rid of you. Depopulation is the ultimate goal. Removal of your rights, etc. Camps are already set in motion. Done deal. But are we too late to actually turn this to where we can still be in a survival mode? We can still obtain our own places, our land, our, protect our families and come out of this in a way where we can still have some citizenry in a sane society? I would say not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. And that's only because people have been rising up all across the country. People are fighting inside of the system and outside. Now, this was the thing that most people didn't expect. Doctors, lawyers, medical professionals, nurses, etc., firefighters, police officers are all fighting against this. They're like, yo, we ain't with this. People on the inside. Over 10,000 medical professionals and over 1,000 lawyers and attorneys are currently suing the World Health Organization and the CDC for crimes against humanity. This is big. So the efforts are happening. People are fighting. They're just not promoting it to y'all like that. You're not seeing it on mainstream media and news. And so psychologically, you don't think it's possible because you're not seeing the image enough. But you are seeing the images of us losing, which is why you think that the only potentiality is for us to lose rather than win. So don't get caught up on that. So yes, sir, I would say it's too late when it comes to us not making our decision. We got to make our decision. Spend time. But it's not too late for us to actually win. And that's because, I really believe in God, the Most High, Allah. I believe in a power bigger than us, because as us individuals, bro, we can't do this by ourselves. We got to return to some agreement, even if it is simply on the universal power that we make up as a people collectively. Those of us who are like-minded and intellectuals, I would say for the most part, and the warriors and the soldiers, because everybody else is just nervous and scared. But those of us who have the power to fight, the willingness to fight, the knowledge and the know-how and the wisdom to implement, we got to come together. No matter what political party, religion, creed, etc. We gotta make this stand, bro. And I believe we have a very short window, and I truly believe we can win. I'm damn sure not about to go down without a fight, and I doubt you are going to go down without a fight either.
Listen, my entire, again, movies for me, for years, for people that don't know, I sold DVDs for years in Philly on a train.
You
I bought my
did, bro.
first
You
Benz.
told me about, yeah.
Yeah. I bought my first Benz with DVD money. Like it was, you know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
it was like a real like, oh, okay.
Yep.
But movies for me have always been downloaders of information.
That's fact.
I never, there's a book that I read called Signs and Symbols of Primordial Man.
Mm-hmm.
And in that book, it spoke to, okay, this thing that you like, so for example, right? This is my this is like a journal. Now,
Okay.
to somebody else, this is just like decorative, right? The person that made that symbol represented something.
Right.
Now, just because you didn't speak the language or knew what it meant, you was like, oh, that's cute. I'm gonna put it in my living room.
Right.
But we said it in the symbol in the language that you didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Movies are like that for me.
Right.
Movies are, well, karmically, because I think that they know, well, again, whether it's like you said, universe, karma, God. Well, we told you. And all of the movies say it, all of the CDC hasn't lied about, hey, y'all know this actually don't solve shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we told you.
Come on, man.
So it becomes like, all right, for me, movies are that. And so in those movie references, that choice or that time, going back to the Brad Pitt scenario, he was at a pivotal moment. And I'm going to destroy the movie for people that didn't see it. You should have saw it by now, guys. Jeez. It's the moment where Kevin Spacey has maneuvered them into the trap.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan Freeman's character is like, please don't open the box. Just give me the gun. Just give me the gun. In that moment, Brad Pitt's character has a small window, a time to make a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You can go this way and listen to the elder the person giving you the information, or you can let your ego, your ignorance, your anger, your actual 7 deadly sins, because that's the reason why this guy's killing people in the first place. You can let that overtake you. I believe, I agree with you. I just become so, and I'm tying this into a question that somebody asked before you jumped in. Sometimes I get a little bit disenchanted or disheartened.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, same here.
And it's like,
it's not easy.
How do you, so one, you do feel that at times.
Yes.
How do you maintain your drive to continue when those moments hit? I mean, you on page number 5 on social media. I'm only on page 2, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might get us after this, right?
Yep.
So what do you do internally to say, hey, I'm having this moment. I'm going to forge ahead. What happens in Brother Islam's head that makes him say, I'm going to forge ahead?
Very good question. From the age of about 11, starting around the age of 11, I was working with our people in drug rehabs, literacy programs, after school social betterment programs, and I saw the lowest condition that we've been in. I saw it, bro. I've been working with our people, seeing it. Brothers 40, 50, 60 can't read. Brothers 20, 30 can't read. I'm teaching them how to read using phonics. I'm working with this sister who is on crystal meth. She's coming off. Working with this brother, heavy alcoholic, coming off. Working with this brother, just lost his children to the system. This brother just came out of the system. You know, I'm working with us since I was 11. I don't know nothing really but the pain of our people. But then again, I'm watching them grow and evolve and do better. Now, again, this is why they at the lowest, though, bro. This is some people beyond repair.
Yeah.
All right. Now, for real, you're like, how the hell am I going to help? How am I going to help him?
Yeah.
You work with them. Again, it's different for those of us who have been working with them. Like when you in the dirt with them, it's different. To see them come out of it, because I'll be damn, bro. I'm telling you, too many times in my life where I'm like, man, I don't know how we can help these people, how we can do this, how we do that. But dealing with that from years and years and years, and then get to the point to where I'm now at 31, I've seen too many of us come back, bro. I've seen it. I've seen it. too many times. I've watched
Yeah.
it. I've been a part of the evolution. I've seen it. I've worked with our people for years. Now I'm seeing it on a large scale. Now I'm seeing these marches and rallies. I'm seeing doctors wholesale, like I'm quitting. If you
Yeah.
force me and my people, nah, we shutting it down. I'm seeing all wholesale police, the LAPD
Yeah.
in the city. Bro, I was like,
Yeah.
wait,
I did
bro,
not have that on my 2020 weird
bro.
world bingo card list.
And you know how we are, but we don't particularly appreciate the LAPD here in LA. We, you know, but that we like, that was very telling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the victories that I continue to witness happening all over the country, over the city, over the state, the country, and the world. I'm watching to see, oh, all right, it's not just me. I'm not the only one. All right, other people on the same page, and we are winning. It is happening.
Yeah.
So am I going to sit here and say, well, because it just doesn't look like we're winning enough, I'm going to give up? Or can I hold on to the fact that I'm seeing these victories happen continually, so let me keep adding to it and keep fighting through? Bro, I follow Farrakhan, regardless of who cares or not.
Yeah.
That man has been working for 60 plus years.
Yeah.
Going up against the system in a way where none of us have experienced it. None of us know what it feels like in the way that he has. He's 88 and he ain't giving up.
Right.
So he said, I'm going to die on my post. That's exactly how I feel. I'm not giving up on my people. I love us too much, bro. And that's I mean that. It is very hard. It's very difficult. Everybody can't hang with it. Some people are not built for it, but I am. And I'm not going to give up regardless. Whether if we end up in a camp or in a jail cell or victorious over this whole thing, I'm not giving up. That's just me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure a lot of people can agree with me.
Absolutely. It's the energy from one of my favorite movies is 300. Again, the movie.
Oh, hell yeah. Come on, bro. You know what that's based off of. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, in my mind, it's like, even American history. That's why some people are like, well, Maj, you be with the so-called patriots and you be whoever got the information, the resources to go on, I can utilize that to get to our people. I'm gonna do it, right?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
There's in that movie 300, the concept of, and even in the tying it into, they say that 3%, right? This whole 3% thing in America, in the American Revolution, it was only about 3% of the dudes that was saying, yo, fuck the crown. Only 3% out of all of the people that was talking that shit, only 3% was like, all right, let's get busy. No different than I can translate that story of cowardice and courage to, okay, let's go to Sister Harriet Tubman. Let's go to Ida B. Wells. Let's go to Frederick Douglass. Let's go to Garvey. Everybody was like, yeah. Everybody ain't go to them sit-ins, though. Everybody wasn't getting, you see what I'm saying? And so to me, it's like, those are the things that kind of give me hope in that space. You're under a particularly different type of microscope, right? Me, everybody knows I'll shoot you. I will shoot the shit out of you. That's it. Right? Everybody knows it. Everybody's like, no, don't do that. Everybody in there has a gun. So I have a different level of, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if this is actually true, and I want to ask to get it more of a credible understanding. From my understanding, the FOI at a certain point, I don't know if that's the same now, didn't carry firearms. I don't know if that's still true. If that is not, that puts you even more specifically. The war of the mind is different.
True.
You know what I'm saying? The war of getting people to wake their minds up. Okay, cool. I can teach people about guns. That's great. They can still benefit from that because they got to go buy guns, right? In your space, it's almost like tapping people out of that matrix, right?
Yeah, resurrecting the dead, brother.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you doing in regards to your personal, spiritual protection, your mental peace, your physical self-defense, especially if the FOI does not carry firearms? I don't know if that's true or not. That's something that I've heard, and that might have been decades ago. I'm not sure.
Very good question. Spiritually, I pray, meditate. We fast collectively in the whole nation of Islam. We fast we fast for 3 days out of each month for overall health. We do it collectively because we believe that connected and collective spiritual energy is also something that helps us to protect against sickness, disease, whether mentally, spiritual, etc. It elongates our livelihood. You know, it sharpens the mind. It sharpens everything. So we fast for at least 3 days out of each month. And then, of course, the month of Ramadan. So spiritually, I make sure, I keep my energy very clean. I don't have a whole lot of people around me. I really don't have a whole lot of 30, 40, 50. No, I steer clear of people with bad intentions, people who try to use me for their motive and not the motive of the people, because that can really mess up your energy, spirit. So I stay clear of all that. That's that. And I also make sure I do to others what I would like for them to do unto me. I treat others the way I want to be treated. Again, so because I don't like that type of energy coming on me spiritually. Mentally, I read, I study. I make sure to clear my mind. I have a level of balance where I like to go outside. I get some sunlight. I look out, make sure I get into a wide open space to put out my spiritual energy, because we are spiritually far larger than we are physically. And mentally, if we operate properly, we are far larger than what we are physically as well. So we have to open up our mind as much as we can. So the studying, the training, I watch a lot of documentaries, love movies. We're on the same point with all that, bro. Study movies. And just another little point on that tidbit, the CIA and the FBI in certain areas had contracts with Hollywood and still does. All the way back in the 80s and prior to that, especially dealing with war movies and military movies. And they have certain areas where they want to be able to write into scripts in movies. So
why? I've heard that, but why is that?
Because in order for you to control the masses, you must control them mentally first. They already got it spiritually with the churches. They got it spiritually with all of that. So next was mentally. I have to control the masses of the people. And people think that movie theaters and movies are just them spending millions of dollars to entertain you. No, if I can get millions of people in one area to be injected with a certain amount of mental information at one time, I can program and brainwash an entire society.
Yeah.
Hence the movie, I don't know, The Purge, over and over goddamn again. That was not for no entertainment. That was not a possible. No, it was programmed, letting y'all know, guess what? It's coming. It was a desensitizing mental.
We told you,
bro.
We told you.
I mean, but I digress, bro. But come on. So that's so me and you, movies, please. Because I have to study the facts, the history and everything. Then I have to also study how they try to manipulate into fiction to desensitize the masses so that they can actually do what they made you think they're not going to do because it was fiction.
Yeah.
That whole deal, bro. So mentally I keep myself clear, but I also keep that balance. I got to dig deep into the reality of the horrors of the world, but then also make sure I balance it with the beauties of the world as well. So I study both. And then the physical, we work out, exercise as much as possible, drink lots of water, take vitamins, minerals, herbs, do all of that. I do my best to stay away from most meats. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan. So I do eat some meat sometimes, but I stay away from red meats for the most part, yeah, man, just do my best to stay up on physical health. I don't smoke. I don't drink. No judgment on anyone who does, but I don't. Hey, no judgment, bro. You asked me for me, so I
it's like puts the wine down.
Right. Oh, and the gun question. I don't want to forget that. We don't carry guns in the Nation of Islam. We don't currently. We don't. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan said that at one point and at a certain point, and particularly when we own our own land and area and our society as far as the territory, that we will have to secure that, and that we may potentially, in his words, we may potentially consider that. But we believe more in the God that is within us than a gun, which it's still a tool regardless. If you choose to use it, that's up to you. You have the right to do that in this country, so that's your choice. You can do that. Then look, right there, go ahead. So look, hey, that's your right to do that.
Listen, and I say this because I think we kind of discussed it before, but it's something that I remember Brother Malcolm said when he was like, listen, Dr. King and those guys, they're nonviolent and they just trying to get a little bit of their peace and freedom. They're nonviolent. We are not.
No, we're not.
So if we see you doing that thing to our people, and that's how I feel about the people that I, have on these platforms like yourself, the people that are doing work in the community. I may disagree. I smoke. I got some tree right there. I drink in the house. Or on vacation.
Right.
But outside, and I also know I got some tree right here. I also know that, I'm going to still be on point. And I also know that I'm the person that's going to be like, nah, bro, you had a few drinks this week. you better fast. You better take that Sunday and not do nothing. So saying that to say what I feel about our people is they don't gotta carry firearms if I'm around, because it ain't gonna be no gun-free zone if me and my team is there. And if they don't carry a firearm, we do. So I want to make sure that we because we can argue and we can have different points, and that's what I loved about you coming to the Solutionary Summit. We had so many people literally having civil discourse on the stage, and then they all went to go get something to eat afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's impactful. But I wanted to pack that up. You said we'll take a few questions, y'all. As y'all are coming in, make sure y'all are smashing that like button. Make sure you're sharing this.
And really,
I'm going to take a few questions.
I forgot to mention as well, you asked about the fighting as far as the physical defense.
Yeah.
All of us train.
Yes.
We all know how to fight in martial arts. We have tons of black belts and degreed grandmasters in the Nation of Islam. Let's make this very clear. The sisters and the brothers train. This is a requirement because, again, if you don't carry a weapon, you got to be able to be a weapon. You have to be able to be that because, again, bullets run out. No. So you can have the whole armory behind you, but still at a certain point, they run out.
Shouts to our sponsors. That's being the Gamo, guys. Shouts to the sponsors.
Coming, it's like so it happens, but we do train, brother, because again, at the end of the day, there are different tactics of war. There's different systems of war, and as brother Hannibal Barca, who was one of the greatest, Carthaginian, geniuses, one of our African brothers as a warrior, he was able to unite the different factions of war: the swordsmen, the archers, the horsemen. They didn't fight the same, but they all fought together. So if I'm out there and we fighting, I don't have a gun, but you do. I'm not gonna complain, brother. Put that gun down. We at war right now. We at war. Like, do you not see what that's going on? No, bro. I'm gonna just say a quick thing. When our Western Regional Representative, Minister Tony Muhammad, whose name is now Minister Abdul Malik Saeed Muhammad, when he was confronting some SWAT members, him and the brothers, they came to try to shut down a candlelight vigil for around the 60s, neighborhood 60 area where brother Nipsey Hussle was when he was younger. And the police tried to hop out on the brothers when it was a vigil. We're mourning the death of someone, and they trying to hop out and cause a problem. And Minister Tony was like, "Listen, wait a minute, hey, it's a vigil that we're doing here. We're not doing anything wrong." But they tried to attack the brothers, and Nipsey and all the 60s was throwing rocks at the police and everything. And so that whole situation, thankfully, no one got hurt, but still, it was, we will fight. And then again, fast forward another situation after that, also with the Western Regional Representative, when another time SWAT hopped out on the brothers, him and the brothers that were securing him, they got into a physical squabble. Now they got guns and they went all this armor, but the brothers was cracking their armor with their bare fists and beat them up. Y'all got all the weapons, but we got God. You know what I'm saying? So it's again. So I'm just saying. So it does exist. It does exist. When they have weapons and they don't. It ain't working the way you think.
And sometimes it ain't gotta. Listen, I'm a conflict resolution. Sometimes a physical fight it will resolve the conflict, and it ain't gotta go to a gun. A gun for me is the absolute last resort. You have put my life in imminent danger, in immediate danger. I gotta eliminate that threat.
And it doesn't mean, because you mentioned something that Brother Malcolm said, we're not nonviolent. And the Honorable Minister Farrakhan followed that up by saying, we're not nonviolent, we're non-aggressive. Meaning we don't start the fight. That's our
we gonna end it.
We gonna, bro. But like it says in the Holy Quran, we are not aggressive, but if we are aggressed upon, we fight like hell with those who fight with us. So if you try to attack me, I'm not gonna pray for you. I'm going to pray on you. That's real talk. So let's not get it twisted. And just on top of that, Martin Luther King carried a Magnum revolver too. That's another side of the
That's a whole nother thing. I'm like, y'all do know that Martin Luther King had guns. And people are like, no, he didn't. I'm like, okay.
Oh, he did.
All right. You know what I'm saying? So you said something, and I gotta ask, brother, for the sisters. I have to ask. You said the beautiful things. Is Brother Islam single, married, on point, focused? Brother, the sisters want to know. It's not for me, brother. I gotta ask.
All right. Oh, here we go. Your brother's single, not involved, at all. I can say this publicly because I'm not. It's not. Right. I'm not like, oh, I got a couple. No, I'm not. I'm single. I'm mission minded. You know, we're at a point, brother, where things are so critically time sensitive that we get certain things accomplished to where I'm not saying that's the reason why I'm single, but I'm saying that's more so what I'm focused on right now is the mission. So, if a queen happens to be brought in that, fits within my mission, not just for me, but the mission, you're not just marrying me, you're marrying the mission. And I need to know that your mind is attached to that as well. If that happens, all praise due to Allah, I'm cool with it. But for now, yes, sir, your brothers, I'm single, ladies.
So, sisters, get your mind right, get your diet right, get your spirit together, sisters. That's what the brother's saying. Get ready for the mission. This ain't gonna be no cakewalk around here. Man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my brother, I want to appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for doing the live. I know you got a lot of stuff. It's been very refreshing as always. Yes, we support your work. I'll tally up all of the look, one of the sisters said, look at God. The brother's single. Look at God. I'll tally up all of these super chats. I want to, and you can't say no. I'm going to make sure that we donate half of the super chats to our mission and half of the super chats to your mission and your work, because we value, what you're doing, being on front line for the information. You're fighting against the farm. You're fighting against the biggest drug dealers on the planet.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that, our people, should appreciate and support that. Make sure y'all are following the brother. Tell folks where you can follow, where they can donate, how they can get access to, when they can see you when you're in your town and all of that other good stuff.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate this, brother. Just the work and everything that's being done. RizzaIslam.com is my website. So if they do shut me down anywhere else, please make sure you subscribe to RizzaIslam.com first, where you put your name, your email, and your phone number in so that we can send out the blast to you. Also, the only page that I have up for now, we don't know, like Brother Maj said, we don't know if it's going to take it down or not, but it is at Got Censored on Instagram, altogether at Got Censored. And there are some duplicate pages people are trying to come up with, but mine has 141,000 subscribers or followers now, and it may be more, but that's the only legitimate one. And yeah, man, everything else, all the updates, where I'm going to different cities. We have Houston coming up next, October 2nd and 3rd. We have Connecticut, October the 16th. New York has been calling, October the 17th. New Jersey. We have Orlando, Florida. We got a lot coming up. So stay tuned. RizzaIslam.com for updates, and at Got Censored on Instagram for updates as well.
For sure. All right, y'all. Be safe. Share this live all over the place. As always, we appreciate you all. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Be safe. Be solutionary.
Sir, appreciate you.
Peace.
Peace.